running around with road rage. I'm only here to make a few dollars. And my redneck wears white collar. Well, on the 4th of July, I like to party all night. The neighbors around here get a little uptight about the Tannerite. Fireworks I like. Well, there's statues, waterfalls, and nice cars, but I'd rather be outside camping on. Hey, good morning, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to Redneck White Collar Outdoors. And with the weather warming up, I thought we would get in to how to call a turkey in with a mouth reed or a mouth call. If you're just getting into turkeys and you're trying to figure out, hey, how the heck do I call these things in? What are the best ways to do it? What do you like? Or just in general, you already got yourself a reed call and you're just trying to figure out how to use it. I was going to walk y'all through how to use these bad boys. So I preferably like the reed over a slate call or over a box call, which are the other two primary used methods to replicate the sound of a hen. I like the mouth reed and the mouth call generally because it's hands-free, so I don't have to worry about working a slate or a box call. If I'm shotgun hunting, then I can have my shotgun up, I got my face mask on, and I can still call a turkey in all the way to the decoys. It's not a lot of movement, you're just moving your mouth, you're not moving your hands. There's a lot of benefits to it. I think the third one probably just be you can be really quiet with this. You can be quiet with a slate call too, but mouth calls are extremely versatile. The more you use them, the better you get with them. So yeah, let's quickly just go over how to use these and what they sound like, and if you're just starting out, maybe how to start, tips and tricks that worked well for me. So I'm going to be using, this is a Bone Collector series mouth reed. This one in particular has got like a little V cut on the top. Different designs, different cuts on the top of these are going to give you a different sound. And then different material that these are made out of. Potentially they'll last longer, they'll give you a different sound. It's all going to be preferably what you like. I love these Bone Collector ones. The material here seems to last a long time, and the sound that they produce I think is one of the best. So you'll see here with your mouth or your reed that you got, these little feathery things lay on top of another piece of latex that's on here, and the feathery things, or the V-cut things is what I'm calling them, should be on the top. So right now I've got those feathery things on the top as it's facing you, and that's going to go into the top of my mouth or touch the roof of my mouth, just like that. Now when you put these in your mouth, you're going to use your tongue to apply mouth pressure, and when you apply that pressure, you're going to exhale, and you breathing out through this reed with that mouth pressure at the top of the roof of your mouth is going to produce a sound. Now the more pressure you apply, the higher pitch the sound is going to be. The less pressure you apply, the lower pitch sound there's going to be. So for me, I'm just going to start off making a sound, especially if anyone else is just starting off trying to make a sound. All you want to start with is applying that pressure and just making a nice high-pitched sound. So I'm going to go ahead and just do that. I'm not going to change the sound. I'm just going to make the sound constant and basically just try to get a sound out of this, basically. All right. So kind of eerie, kind of sounds like nails on a chalkboard. I get it. But if you can make that sound, you're well on your way to sounding like a hen. Now, the second step is if I apply less pressure, I'm going to get a lower sound. High pitch, low pitch. Kind of hard to do that low pitch. Now you got to bring it all together. You want a high pitch and you want a low pitch, and you'll see my jaw is almost dropping, and that's because I'm applying pressure with the reed and my tongue to the roof of my mouth, and then I'm exhaling, throwing air through it, and then I'm dropping my tongue, and you'll see my mouth move to get that low sound. So it's a high sound and a low sound combination that kind of gets you the sound of the hen. Sounds something like this. So I'm kind of exaggerating my mouth just so you can see kind of what my mouth's doing or what my tongue's doing in there. But it's giving me that sound of a hen. And I'm doing it a lot quicker than when we're applying that high pitch sound and that low pitch sound. One more time. And that's it. That's a yelp. That's the most basic sound that you're ever going to make with a reed or need to make with a reed. All the good turkey hunters will tell you it's not necessarily how good you call, it's when you call. You got to know when to call the turkeys and when not to. And that really, honestly, counts more for anything when you're hunting turkeys than just the general sound. So if you can make a decently sound yelp, all you got to know then is when to call. Now, there is a couple variations to calling in turkeys that you might want to add to your repertoire, I guess, when you're calling, that makes it sound a little bit more realistic, or certain situations you want to give a turkey a little bit more. And that is the purr, and that is the cluck. So the purr, I think, is probably the easiest. So I'll start with that. There's a couple different ways you can do it. If you can make this sound with your mouth, or you basically vibrate your tongue up and down the roof of your mouth, then you're most likely going to be able to make a purr with this. The other way to do it is moving your lips up and down like that. If you can do either one of those, you'll probably be able to make a purr. So the first method, you're going to throw the reed back in there the same way with those slits on the upside at the roof of your mouth. And you're going to go ahead and, I don't know what you call it, I guess vibrate your tongue or move it up and down really quick. So that would be the way with your tongue. Now the other way I prefer to do it is with my lips. That's just making the sound, almost like a horse would, right? So I'm just moving my lips like that, and that sound's coming out. Now the other piece of calling is the cluck. Now hens will do this when they get excited. If they're trying to really get a gobbler's attention, they'll give clucks. You know, you hear them in the woods give like a tat, 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 wah, wah, and then they'll go into that yelp, which is the first thing we learned. Now, another reason that hens will do it is to warn off another hen or tell another hen that, hey, you're in my territory. So, you know, sometimes you'll be calling a hen and she'll get fired up, and she's telling you, because she hears you calling, to get away. You know, this is my gobbler, this is my guy, and you need to get away. And if you can actually get in a hen calling match, I guess, or almost like a hen fight, a verbal disagreement, using those clucks and yelps, you can actually draw a hen in toward you, and a lot of times they'll bring the tom or the gobbler with them. So really fun to do. I love calling against other hens, and I love when it works out when that gobbler comes in. But you're going to work into the cluck, and the cluck is probably the hardest of all the calls, just because you're throwing a lot of air through that reed in a very short period of time. So it's one big gust of air, and I'm saying the word almost like cha. So I'm cha 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 is kind of the sound that I'm making. And when you do that, you're cutting it off too. So lots of air, and then you're almost instantly cutting it off, and you're applying quite a bit of pressure with the reed, and then you're dropping down really quick too. So it's you can see my tongue, how my jaw drops off, because that's that instant pressure where I'm almost squeezing tight to the roof of my mouth, and then I'm dropping that pressure. I don't want any sound to come out of it. So this is kind of what it sounds like. So you can hear that high pitched, it's almost like like a tone to it. It's got this WTHAP tone to it. But you'll definitely hear it. You'll definitely feel it when you're able to do it. And that sound can be very, very enticing to other hens, and also can really get gobblers going. It's a loud sound, so sometimes you'll even get a gobbler to shock gobble, which is awesome if you don't have a crow call or an out call with you, or just get the gobbler excited enough to come in if he needs a little bit more. But when you throw them all together, they can be deadly. So I hope that helps. If y'all got any questions, I like to keep my reads in the truck. Been calling for years, but hey, it's still fun. I still learn stuff new. I still get better every year. They come out with better and better calls. And it's always awesome to just know what you're doing and be prepared. Know you can sound great when you're out in the woods, sounding like an actual hen and not another hunter, because I can always tell when there's another hunter, especially if they've got a mouth reed in. There's a certain sound to it. So don't be that guy. Practice. Throw your mouth reed in as every chance you get. Try not to drive the kids nuts and the wife nuts at the house, but practice away, and you will become perfect, hopefully. And best of luck to you all. And let me know if you guys have any questions. Comment down below. Thanks. There's too much asphalt around this place. People driving around with road rage. I'm only here to make a few dollars. And my redneck wears white collar. Well, on the 4th of July, I like to party all night. The neighbors around here get a little uptight about the tannerite. Fireworks I like. Well, there's statues, waterfalls, and nice cars, but I'd rather